Hey guys, and welcome back to another video on the Row Builder YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make palm trees. That is the most, as it is, you know, talking and stuff. It's the most requested tree tutorial I have on this channel, literally since I made the first tree tutorial. So today I'm going to show you guys how to make palm trees in Blender. I'm using 2.8. First things first, we're going to go into edit mode, delete this guy, and drag in our cylinder, okay? Now, I'm thinking I'll do like 6 sides, 8 sides. We're going to do 8 sides. It doesn't have to be 8 sides, but no, maybe we should. Yeah, I think I'm going to do 6 sides, okay, guys? I think that's kind of, yeah, that'll be the way to go. And there is 2 ways to do this. Usually when I make mine, it's like this kind of thing. This is just the trunk, by the way, all right? So there's like, I do this, and then it's E to extrude, S to scale, and you hit one of these, and then you do E and S, which is going to extrude it, but you're going to be scaling it, so it's going to go in a little bit, and then up, out, just like this, guys. And it's like, you know, hey, you just keep going. E, S, scale it in a little bit, drag it up, bring it out, and you can add like another one like this maybe, and then ES, you know, and keep doing this until you get like the trunk shape that you're happy with. So E and then S, it's going to scale it in, drag it up, and make it like wide like this, and it's going to be getting smaller and smaller, and later on you can always add a little bit of variation. So I'm going to go ahead and make this trunk real quick, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so this is one example of how you can do the trunk for a palm tree. Of course, you could change anything you really want. That's the beauty of 3D modeling. You can do whatever you want. This guy, I think I might have made the base of it just a little bit too big, so I'm going to kind of mellow this out and see, you know, just do like some of that, some of this. Maybe drag this guy in a little bit, like so. And then, whoops, my bad, wrong key. And then this guy in a little bit too. This is just scaling, guys. So something like this for this base. And then I've also seen other people do the base or the trunk just like stacked on top of each other, like this shape, but without the variation as much. So I will make one of those real quick as well and show you that. Or I guess it would probably be better if I showed you guys like how to do it. So let me go ahead and do that and not just jump right into it. We're gonna go back into object mode with tab, press shift A, mesh cylinder. We're gonna go ahead and use the same amount of sides or vertices, 6. And check it out. This one's gonna be a lot easier to make, guys. Back into edit mode with tab. Let's grab this. We could probably scale this whole guy down a little bit. And then we're just going to grab the top and scale it out with S. Now we can grab this whole little model right here. And we can literally shift D. We'll copy it. And then just make each one a little smaller than the last. I don't personally like the palm trees this way, but some people think it's a better style and some people do like it better. So it's all personal preference, guys. This one is a bit easier and you don't necessarily have to scale them down like I'm doing either. I'm just duplicating, scaling. You probably don't even need to scale them down. Like we could grab all of this. Let me just do that and do shift D. And drag them up, guys. Just like this is the other way to make a base of a palm tree. But personally, I like this one, so we are not going to be doing this. Back over to object mode. Here we go. Now this guy, you guys might be like, bro, that's a bit straight. You know, that's a bit straight. So what we're going to do is grab the face at the top of this right here in edit mode and click this little circle button. This is for proportional editing. We're going to go press 1 to snap into our view. If you don't have a number pad, you can hold Alt and middle mouse wheel kind of like scroll to where you want it to snap to. So that's another cool little feature. But now that we have proportional editing on and this top piece grabbed, we're going to press G and you're going to see a ball. We're going to make this pretty big and you can kind of like bend the tree a little bit like this. And just do it like whatever looks good to you, okay? I mean, don't make it flat, but, you know, give it a little bend, something like that. And then we could press G again, make this a bit smaller, and kind of bend it back a little bit. Just something like this. Give a little bit of curve to that. Make it flow a little more. Palm trees, excuse me, are never straight up and down. So just give them a little bit of variation. Now on to the fun part, guys. All right, guys, now we're going to go ahead and move on to the leaf of the palm tree. That's kind of like, you know, the thing I don't like doing the most, but we got to do it anyways, all right? So we're going to go ahead and grab a plane just like this and get to going, all right? What I'm going to do is S and then X to scale it out this way a little bit, and we're going to add some loop cuts like this. Perfect. Loop cuts is Control R, and then you can scroll on your mouse wheel to make more than one loop cut. So that's going to help us out a ton, guys. This little line over here, we're going to start scaling them in, all right? So first we'll give our little bend, I suppose. So let's grab this line, and then all of the ones behind it. So something like this, we're going to bring them up just a little bit, and then bring this guy and everything behind it up a little bit, like this. And then these two lines right here, we will bring them up just a little bit too. So something like that, give ourselves a little bit of a curve. And so we don't end up with a flat part like this, we're going to curve that guy back down like this. So it's going to be just a little uneven, but that's good. You don't want perfection, guys. It doesn't look good. Then we're going to split this right in half. Grab this side with, once again, we did a loop cut, guys, Control and R. And we're going to grab this side by holding Alt and then Shift Alt to grab this side as well, and we're going to drag the sides down just a little bit. Give us more of that leaf shape that we're going for. Up next, we're going to switch to vertice mode, grab these guys right here, and scale them in with S, something like this, and then we're going to grab this middle vertice and drag it out. That's just going to give us that good leaf little leaf form, okay? Now, these guys can probably stay the same. These guys right here, we're going to scale out just a little bit. Nice. Now, these guys we're going to scale out just a little bit, guys, not as much. And now we're going to start working backwards. So we're going to scale these in, holding Shift, and then we're going to scale this in. Then these guys, and then these back ones right here. So something like this is a very nice base palm tree shape. Now, I don't overall like the overall shape of it. I was trying not to use overall twice right there, but I had to. So I'm going to stretch it out a little bit. That's going to make it look real good. That was S and then X because we wanted to stretch on the X axis, okay? So we pressed X after we clicked S to scale. And I'm going to bring this back point down just a hair. So we're going to grab all of this by clicking L and drag it over to our palm tree. Now, this leaf right here is a very, very, very basic leaf. You don't, you could do a lot more with it, all right? So if I want to grab this vertice and turn on proportional editing, we'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to press G, and we're going to bend this guy down something like this, and then I'm going to do it again, but make this a lot smaller, and do something like this. So we have more of a bend to our leaf. Up next, or wait, we got to fix these two little vertices right here. They're kind of above the rest, and we don't want that, guys. And we also need to turn off proportional editing. There we go. So we're going to drag these guys down just a little bit so we still get this main leaf shape. Now these two are also going to need to be dragged down just a little. There we go. And this is going to give us our good leaf shape that we were wanting. Now, we can add in some cuts to the leaves because no leaf is perfect. So let's do a loop cut with Control and R. We're going to click right there. And if we grab this vertice, we can press V. And then we'll click to unselect. And check that out. What V does is it cuts it for you. So now we have this split right here, and we have a little split in our leaf, which makes just a lot more character, a lot more detail. And you can do this pretty much anywhere. If you want to switch anything, so like for example this one, we can move this back, all right? And then we can press, let's do it on this one. We want to kind of skip one. So we can move this back, all right? Now, as you can see, we kind of were messing up a little bit. So let me just Control Z that. And I believe if you do GG, it is a slide on the vertices. So there we go. That'll be all right. And now we can press V on this one, and it's going to give it a much bigger cut, okay? It goes back all the way to where our other vertice is. So I'm going to go through the rest of this leaf, cut it up a little bit, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, so I cut up the leaf. There it is. It's looking pretty dang good. Now we're going to go ahead and add a modifier on it because if we go, let me show you this real quick. If we're right here, and we click on this guy, we can go to face orientation, okay? Now, everything that's red right here is going to show up invisible in Roblox Studio. So if you're underneath this palm tree, it's going to look like it has no leaf. So what we're going to do is click on this little wrench icon right here, add modifier, and go to Solidify. Now, as you can see, there's nothing red, which is nice, but these palm tree leaves are still looking pretty thin and brittle. So we could go to this thickness and up it really as much as you want. Well, I guess not as much as you want to, but you know, as much as you think looks good. I think something like this looks pretty nice for a low poly palm tree leaf. I like that thickness to it. So there we go, guys. This is our leaf. Now what we're going to do is get out of this mode, okay? We don't need that no more. And we are going to apply this. Of course, you have to be in object mode, you know, my bad. And now we just have to place these all the way around. I know there is modifiers to do this, like the array modifier and stuff like that, but I'm not great at using them at all, so I'm just gonna go and do it by hand. First things first, Shift D, or we'll go into edit mode to do this so it all stays as one object. Shift D, and that's gonna duplicate it, and then we can press RY 180. Of course, always the wrong axis, bro. RX 180. Still the, okay. RZ 180. Trial and error, boys. Trial and error. And now we have 2 of these. And now we're going to grab this one by holding L. If you hover over anything in edit mode and then hold L or press L, it will select the whole object. We're going to duplicate these and then do RX 90. And that's going to give us this. And now we're going to press L on each of these. And we're going to do Shift D and then RX 45. That's going to give us something like this. Now, this is too perfect of a palm tree, okay? The leaves, you know, they could be a little more scattered. So we're going to shrink these guys down a little bit, all right? And then bring them down just a hair. I think this many leaves is a good amount. Also, we should add a little point to the end of these, which is going to be, like, you know, make these more pointy. I'm not going to do it because I've already made a bunch of leaves. And these guys, just rotate each of them individually, all right? So we're going to press R, give this guy a little rotation. Grab it with L, give this guy a little bit of rotation, and then just move them back so they're like where they need to be. Some of them can be going up, so we're going to press L on this guy and give him like something like this. Just scatter them, guys. They don't need to be perfect. In fact, the more perfect they are, or I guess symmetrical, let's not say perfect, the more symmetrical they are, honestly, the worse it's gonna look, all right? Like, give it a lot of play, have a lot of fun with it, and this, guys, is how you build a palm tree. I am gonna show you how to texture it as well, so let's hop into that. First things first, go to UV editing, click on open, and then get a color palette. You can go on Google and find one, or I believe it's still in my Discord. If you go into Discord and go to references, there will be a color palette that will match the one I'm using right here. So we're going to press A over here, and that's going to grab every single branch. We're going to press 1 to go in this front view, or you can do Alt and scroll on your mouse like this. But we're going to press U over here, project from view, just like this. And now we have this right here. We're going to press A to select everything, S to scale everything down, and G to grab. And we're going to move this guy right over here to these nice bright greens. Now we're going to go into this material, click on new, click this little button right here, image texture, and then this button, and go to color grid because that's what we have selected. And then right here, press Z and go into material preview. As you can see, we now have our beautiful color, okay? Now this might be a little too bright, but you know, color isn't really what we're focusing on today. You can make it whatever color you want. And then the trunk, go back into object mode, click on the trunk, and we are going to want to do the same thing. Press 1 and then U, project from view. That's going to give us this, and it's because we're not grabbing the whole trunk. There we go. And now we can project from view. Press A over here, S to scale, and then G. Now it doesn't matter how you scale this. If you wanted to do like this and make it super stretched to fit whatever texture you have, you can. If you wanted to make it literally nothing, you could do that as well. But for us, we don't need to do all of that. We're going to do just like this. Click on new, image texture, click on this, and color grid. And there you go, guys. This is how you make a low poly palm tree. I hope you loved the video. If you did, make sure to drop that like, help your boy out, and subscribe, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day. Later.